Hi, it's Sylvester. Now, I'm probably going to title this video something like Things I Miss About Being a Woman. And I know that that title is misleading because I have never actually been a woman. If you don't know, I am transmasculine. I was assigned female at birth. I lived many years thinking that I was a woman and being perceived as a woman and being treated like a woman. And so I feel like I have some idea of what it's like to be a woman. But again, I was never actually a woman. I'm a man, and I've always been a man. I just, I couldn't think of a better title, so that's why I went with that one. And again, I haven't uploaded this video yet, so I don't know. Maybe I've come up with a better title, and this is all for nothing. But anyways. Here are some things that I miss about being a girl, even though I've never actually been a girl. First of all, most of the stuff that I miss, and I really gotta emphasize that being a man, in my opinion, is just better than being a woman. I'm probably saying that because I'm transmasculine, not because it's an objective fact, but for me, the experience of being a man is so much better than the experience of being a woman. I did not have fun being a woman most of the time. Sometimes I did, and I tend to glorify those days in my brain. I tend to, look at the past with rose-colored glasses. And so when I think back about what it was like when I was a woman, I kind of forget about how miserable I used to be all the time, and a big part of why I was so miserable all the time was because I was living life as a woman, and I'm not a woman. And so there was a lot of gender dysphoria. But for me personally, being a man is just better in so many ways than being a woman. And again, I know I've never actually been a woman, so I guess I can't really say what it's like to be a woman, but from my experience, I certainly enjoy being a man because, for many reasons, but largely because I don't have to deal with sexism anymore. Like, that was a huge thing that I was trying to escape when I decided to transition, is that I was like, I just can't handle sexism. I can't handle dealing with this. I couldn't deal with the sexism. So now that I pass as male, I don't really deal with sexism very often. Sometimes people, I still sometimes deal with sexism because some people still see me as a woman and will always see me as a woman. But for the most part, the best thing, hands down, about being a man is that I don't have to deal with sexism for the most part. But there are some things that I miss about being a woman. And again, I was never really a woman, but I hope you know what I mean when I say that. Now, most of the things that I miss about being a woman are things that are quite performative and stuff that I can still do even as a man. So it's not that big of a deal. I'm not making this video because I'm trying to complain and be like, oh, look how hard it is to be a man, because that is not my experience. In my experience, it is much easier to be a man than it is to be a woman. Again, even though I've never actually been a woman, but you know what I'm saying. But the thing I miss the most about being a woman, quote unquote, is the glam aspect, the part where I could make jaws drop, feeling sexy, feeling good, feeling confident. And that's not something that is unique to women. Men can be sexy and men can be confident too, but I just feel like it was easier for me to feel myself back when I thought that I was a woman. I'd put on some nice makeup, I'd do my hair real good, I'd put on some sexy kind of clothing, and then next thing you know, I'm feeling like $1,000,000 and heads are turning to look at me, and it's a fun feeling. I miss feeling femininely sexy. And again, none of this is all very performative. It's all stuff that I can still do. I can still put on makeup and wear a wig and put on some, sexy clothing and there's nothing stopping me from doing that. And I do that. It's been a while since I've done drag, but it is something that I have been known to do, is put on makeup and sexy clothing and dresses and skirts and, stuff that's considered to be women's clothing, even though clothing doesn't really have a gender. But I do miss feeling glamorous, feeling fabulous. And again, there's nothing stopping me from wearing makeup. There's nothing stopping me from getting my nails done, because that always makes me feel fabulous when I get, like, when I have, like, fake nails on. Like, oh, there's something about the feeling of fake nails, or a big swooshy dress, a big, beautiful ball gown. Like, there's something so that makes me so happy about thinking about wearing stuff like that. And I love sparkles, and I love sequins, and I love, again, stuff that we associate with women's clothing, even though clothing doesn't have a gender. And I've spoken about this in the past, but, like, I'm scared to dress flamboyantly, I suppose. Like, I'm scared to wear dresses in public and makeup in public, and I'm scared to look too feminine because I don't want to be targeted. I don't want to be attacked. I'm very scared of people shouting, slurs at me, or people insulting me, or even attacking me for being a guy who's dressed femininely. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too risky. Like, I do live in a relatively open-minded city, but still, I feel like if I left the house wearing a dress or wearing makeup, somebody is gonna say something rude to me, and it's gonna ruin my whole day. I'm a very, very sensitive person, so that's why I don't do that. When I do drag, I do it here on YouTube, where I feel a lot safer. And so, again, it's been a while since I've done drag. I just have to be in the mood for it. It's one of those things where I gotta feel inspired to do it. I'm like that with most things, but I just haven't felt expired. Inspired. I haven't felt inspired recently. So also, I've spoke about this in my last video, but, like, I've kind of been struggling with my self-confidence a little bit recently. Like, I don't know what it is, just the fact that I'm getting older, or, like, I don't know, but, like, I'm having a harder time loving what I see when I look in the mirror. And that's kind of rough, because the thing about why I used to love doing drag is because it just made me feel good. Like, I would put on some makeup, I'd put on a wig, I'd put on some slutty clothes, and then I'd feel like $1,000,000, because I would feel hot. And it's fun to feel hot. It's fun to feel sexy. It's fun to feel like you've got it going on. You know what I mean? And so it was like this confidence that I used to have that I don't really have anymore, and I don't know what happened to that confidence, but I'm having a hard time. Like, I'll put makeup on, and I'll put a wig on, and I'll put a cute outfit on, and I'll just not like what I see, and just be like, I'm, even with all this makeup on, I'm still ugly. And, like, again, I don't actually think I'm that ugly. It's just, I just don't have a lot of confidence these days, and I just don't love looking at myself. And so, like, it's hard to do drag when you're not feeling yourself, you know? And, or for me at least, I guess I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, it's hard to do drag when I'm not feeling myself. So that's why I don't really do drag anymore. Also, it's expensive. Makeup is expensive. Clothes are expensive. It's just a lot. And wigs are expensive, you know? Like, it's just, and I live in poverty. But there's one other thing I miss about being a woman, and that is the attention that I used to get simply for being a woman. And again, I was never actually a woman, but you know what I mean when I say that. I miss getting hit on, which is weird, because back when I thought I was a woman, that was one of the worst things about being a woman, was that people were just constantly hitting on me, and it was just so exhausting, and it just sucked, because it felt like the people who were hitting on me were never people who were up to my standards, you know what I mean? Like, the quality of people who were hitting on me was not great, and it was just like a lot of being hit on and being made to feel uncomfortable, and being made to feel like an object, and being made to feel like I was just being sexualized all the time. So the thing is, I know that I don't actually miss that. I don't actually miss getting hit on by everybody all the time. But I feel like I don't get hit on by anybody ever. And so I would like it to be like, I'm not saying that that's why I have low self-confidence because people don't hit on me anymore, but maybe that's contributing to it. I just sometimes miss getting hit on, especially by hot people. It just really makes me feel good when hot people flirt with me or show an interest in me. It's a good feeling, you know what I mean? But that being said, I don't really miss it. Like, I miss it, but I don't really miss it because I do remember that it sucked to be hit on all the time by everybody. It really did suck. And I'm just not built for that. And it's a lot of rejecting people and turning people down, and that's stressful and not fun to do. And it's just, it's very uncomfortable when you can tell somebody wants something from you that you're not willing to give them. And so I don't actually miss it, but it is fun to get attention. You know what I mean? Like, especially here on YouTube. Another reason why I don't do drag as often as I used to is because I feel less rewarded for doing it. Especially since I got my boobs removed, there was a time where drag videos were the most popular videos on my channel. There was a time where there was an audience for that. People really wanted to see me do drag because they thought I was hot as a woman. And, as I've gone further into my transition and look more and more like a cisgendered man, people have become less and less interested in seeing me dress up as in drag. And especially, again, since having my breast removed, like, people were mostly clicking on my videos because of the cleavage, like, I'm not naive. I know that that's why people were watching those videos, but now I don't have that selling point, like, I would love to just be able to wear a low-cut shirt and get more views. You know what I mean? Like, I miss that. And it came with its drawbacks. People would slut shame me. People would sexualize me. Like, it was just, again, it was not a situation that I enjoyed. But also I kind of did. I liked getting attention for having big boobies and for being a hot chick. And I do miss that, like, I like attention. And I feel like it's easier to be sexy for me. When I thought that I was a woman, it was easier for me to feel sexy. As a man, I don't know how to be sexy. Like, I know how to be sexy, but I feel like with women, it's much more performative when it comes to sex appeal. Like, doing your makeup and having good hair and wearing nice outfits and, like, like, that's how, or like even just how you move your body, like dancing sexy. Like, I'm good at being sexy when I feel feminine. But with men, I feel like most people are like, the sexiest thing about men are their personalities. And I just don't have a great personality. Like, again, I'm being kind of mean to myself, but, like, I don't have the sexiest personality, and I understand that. So it's like, the next way for a man to be sexy is to just be really super muscular, and, like, I don't have that, I have definite dad bod, which fortunately is considered kind of sexy by a lot of people, so there's that. But I find, tell me if this is your experience. Is it harder for men to feel sexy than for women to feel sexy? Because I feel, in my experience, it's harder for me to feel sexy as a man than to feel sexy as a woman. And, maybe that part of that is just experience. I thought I was a woman for so many years that I learned how to be sexy as a woman, and I learned how to feel sexy as a woman, whereas I haven't really been a man that long. Again, I've always been a man, but you know what I'm saying. I haven't lived as a man for very long, and so maybe it's just something that I have to learn, something that I haven't figured out yet, is like how to be a sexy man. A lot of people say that the key to sexiness is confidence, and as I've said, I have not been feeling particularly confident recently, so that's probably not that probably has nothing to do with my gender identity and my gender expression, and is just, I don't know, part of getting older. I used to be more confident, but it's something I'm working on. And you also have to be careful. Confidence and cockiness look awfully similar to a lot of people, so it's hard to be confident, but not too confident, you know? So anyways, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.